Do you love risotto but hate the time it takes to make it? Try my eggplant and zucchini risotto. It's creamy, fresh, and it doesn't require you to stand at the stove and stir. Hi everyone, welcome to today's episode of Let's Celebrate TV. I'm your host, Peter Lee. On this channel, we teach you all about celebrating. We share recipes for food, hors d'oeuvres, cocktails, and we share entertaining tips too. Now we try and keep it all very simple, especially for those of you out there who say you just can't cook or entertain, because we know you really can. So if you like this episode, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and get a new episode every single week. Today, our celebration is all about a happy little accident that I created. I'm calling it Eggplant and Zucchini Risotto. Now, bear with me. I'm not making a risotto where you have to add the stock little by little and stir and stir and stir. This is actually pretty easy. So first, let's talk about the rice. I am using Arborio rice, and I have it on a low simmer right behind me on my stove. Actually, I'm going to turn that off right now. So all I did was I browned the rice in some oil and butter like you would with risotto. I just melted the butter and oil together, put the rice in until it started turning golden. Then I added a cup and a half of chicken broth and put it on a low simmer. No stirring, no fuss, but I'm not cooking it all the way through. And I'll tell you why. Now the vegetables. I'm going to start with eggplant. I have a big bowl of it here. And I have a couple here to show you. These are pretty common ones. There's a whole bunch of eggplants out there. This is your standard common eggplant that you see in the stores and the farmers markets. This is what we're using also today. You may have seen these little purple guys. This is an Italian variety. Sometimes they'll be long and slender, sometimes they're white, and those are just other different varieties. But we're going to use the standard eggplant today. I'm also using zucchini. Here is a beautiful zucchini. This is a summer squash. You'll also see often in the supermarkets or the farmer's stand a yellow version of this. It's very similar. They're interchangeable. I just happen to have some zucchinis today, so that's what I'm using. In my pot, I'm going to get the heat going, and we're going to start with some oil, about a couple teaspoons of olive oil, and of course, a knob of butter, another tablespoon or so. We're just going to get them melting together. Why am I using butter and oil? The butter is going to add lots of flavor, and the oil is going to help it keep it from burning too quickly. So while these melt down, we're just going to add in our vegetables. So I showed you the eggplant, and this is one medium large eggplant that I just roughly diced. I just chopped the top and bottom off, peeled it with a vegetable peeler, and then cut it into planks and then into dice like this. Pretty simple. Right in the pot. Next is our zucchini. And we're having a thunderstorm here, so if you hear some thunder in the background, it's okay. The show must go on. But the zucchini, I did the same thing. I cut the top and bottom off, cut it into planks, big rough dice. Doesn't have to be perfect, just diced right in. Next is onions. This is one large plain onion. You can use red onions, yellow onions, white onions, whatever you like. Again, right in. That's just how simple this is. A little salt and pepper. Or actually a good amount of salt, because you want these vegetables to start rendering their liquid, and that's what the salt is going to help them do. Some pepper for flavor. Good pinch of each. My favorite thing, garlic. This is just a couple cloves that I chopped up. You can use as much as you like, 2, 3, 4. I encourage the use of garlic as much as I can. We're just going to give this a moment and give it a little stir, help everything get coated in that oil and butter. And it's already smelling delicious. And I have this on a medium-high flame. You may want to just watch your flame because you don't want to brown it and cook it fast. You want it to start to render. We're just going to give this a couple of minutes to let it render down. Alrighty, it's just been a few minutes and my vegetables are starting to wilt down. The eggplant's starting to change color and the zucchini is glistening and the onions are glistening. So that means they're starting to release all their liquid. And that's what we want. Now it's time for the rice. Now this looks cooked, but I promise you it's not. There's still a lot of liquid in there. And all of this is right now going to go in all of here. Simple. Okay. There's one last ingredient, and that is a can of chopped tomatoes. I like these fire roasted tomatoes. You can use whatever kind you like. This is what I like. But one 14-ounce can. It's just more liquid and more flavor. And these flavors all go together so, so well. We give it a good stir. And it's just looking gorgeous already. My vegetables are brightening up. And then the little red from the tomatoes. Now, I'm going to put a cover on this. We're going to put it on a low, low, low flame. And then we're just going to let it sit. Could be 15 minutes or so. You just want to let it sit on a very, very low flame. Stir it occasionally until the rice is cooked where you want it to be. Now, traditionally, risotto rice has a little bit of bite to it, a little al dente. If you don't like that, you can take it further and get a little softer. It's up to you. But taste it and make sure. Probably about 15 minutes. Here we are. It's been about 15, maybe 20 minutes. Let's check it out. Oh, that looks wonderful. Oh, the smell. Now, this is cooked down. The vegetables cooked down and that rice has soaked up all of their delicious flavors. A little stir. It's softened nicely. Now, what I like to do at this point is fresh basil. And really, I don't cut it. This is basil I happen to be growing in my yard. I'm just throwing these leaves in whole because they're little. And I'm just going to stir them in. Just like that, just a few. And they're just going to wilt down, add their precious, wonderful basilness to it. All right. Now let's have a quick taste. Right from the pot. No one will know. That's really good. The eggplant in this has started to break down and just adds to the creaminess of the rice. The basil gives it that brightness. The tomatoes have a little tang. And there's some sweetness from the zucchini. Now, this is delicious. I think for me, tonight it needs one more little thing. I'm going to add a little bit of hot sauce. This is purely optional. This is going to add a little more brightness and give it just that last little, just a few drops. Little goes a long way. We'll give another quick stir. Ah, smell. And of course, another little taste. Things I do for you. A little more heat, a little zing. Got Gotta wash it down. Now, what would you serve this with? You could serve it with chicken, with any light fish. For a vegetarian, this is a meal on its own. So, as always, I'm gonna have this recipe up on YouTube and on Facebook. And we love to hear from you, and we love those pictures. Keep them coming, and remember, we answer every single comment and everything that you tell us. So keep sending them in. We'll see you again next Tuesday at 7 p.m. because you're all invited to come on over, come on in, and let's celebrate. Cheers!